What up, though? This B-Boy Reg.
I'm DJ Butter, y'all. We
We
funky
funky
fresh in the
fresh in the
flesh.
flesh.
We
Say
back to
no less.
back.
What's going on? Got on
2026.
313.
Oh, that might
Grayson. Grayson Cat.
Hey, that's sweet.
Yeah. What's
Super
going
Dog, man.
on with you?
Just chilling, man. Just making sure we do something different than we did last year. That's all.
That's what's up. Hey, so we got a good end of the year banger verse from Fabulous. You heard his
Oh, God
verse on the
damn.
No Squatters, the
Yeah.
Squatters freestyle.
Yeah.
Hey, you think fit that's the type of verse that make you have to respond, right?
Yeah, he got to do it in a way that because Fabulous always, that's Fabulous sport, man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Fabulous always been clever with the rhymes. 50 he gonna have to do some comedy skits and all that stuff like he did the Pimp and Curly and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean the word on the street is everybody want to hear bars. They don't want to see all the
Yeah,
memes and
yeah,
like when you when you when you add it with somebody that got bars, don't
right.
nobody want to hear the memes. It's different like with Rick Ross, you know, not to say Rick Ross don't have bars, but it's more like it was more like personality clashes, right?
Yeah,
Um, I don't think. I mean, Fabulous dude, he did start getting on the internet a little bit more, but it's New York, New York. You know what I'm saying? We want
right.
to hear bars, especially with that type of with those type of bars and that verse he dropped.
Yeah. It's good to hear the wordplay again, that's real spitting.
Yeah, yeah,
He,
that was refreshing.
he said, you Allah, you ain't the creator, you ain't Tyler or whatever. He was
Right. You
like,
ain't.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope, man. And I missed the Clue mixtapes like Premiere and stuff like that.
Right.
To hear hear it on that type of vibe where you got the DJ shouting it out and it's underground, played on the radio first and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was dope. It's good to see competition like that. It just gets sometimes it's getting kind of corny, but it's gotta make it make sense, man. Because
Yeah.
it's like Dave East had no wins in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he was, it's guilty by association. Everybody catch the grenade.
That's just like his situation with Max B. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this my man's, but I'm up here with him. So it's like, and sometimes you got to realize that, like coming up, not just in hip hop, but in life in general, like who you affiliated with, and then you got to be clear on what this relationship is from a business standpoint, as a friendship, who you roll with, because sometime again you adopting whatever issues they have, they become
yeah,
yours, depending on how tight y'all are. Everybody not gonna take on your issues.
yeah. People scatter fast. Trust.
Yeah. But on the flip side, you can't expect people like
Yeah,
um people being clowning Jay for him not, being affiliated with Diddy and all of that. But I mean, how well do you know your so-called friends too?
yeah,
Because I
yeah,
might have been cool with somebody on the surface level as far as business going. We hung out at a few parties, but you don't know what somebody be doing behind the doors. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you find out like everybody else. Like we wasn't that tight.
yeah. It's just what's tripped out though. We can a lot of people beef for nothing, and those guys done cut so many checks with each other, man.
Yeah,
It's just, and that's the saddest part about it. I watch so many people in our sector of hip hop, barely make $100 with each other, and they beefed out. And these guys and wrote publishing checks and helped brand each other, and then you see when Leo Cohen got on the Breakfast Club and was like, I don't know Damon Dash. It's like, man, that's just a game. You know what I'm saying?
right,
It's
right.
just, you know, hey man, people die for less all day. I said, damn, these guys they done help brand each other. 50 been on a the song with Diddy on the remix of I Get Money and wrote the verse for. I said,
Right.
damn, man, we barely can try to make $100 or spend it, you know what I'm saying, without we beefing over $100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think sometimes though, them when they be doing them songs though, it really don't be a friendship there. It don't be. I mean, they probably broke bread together, but it don't mean. You look at the old mob movies. A lot of times, some people broke bread with each other, but then was shooting at each other at the same time. So sometimes you putting one thing above any personal issues, but those personal issues don't go away. But it's hard for the general public to see anything different. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So
they at least have an economy with that stuff. I mean, you just look at how many people beef with MC Breed in Detroit, and
right,
and here Breed put our city on the map and the whole state in the map. You know what I'm
right,
saying? But and we were just trying to take off. Then you had AWOL this, and then you had these people here this, and you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
it's hell of a. They done had a bunch of brunches and this and that, and cut distribution deals with each other, and they look you dead in your face, saying, "I don't know you," but
right,
that's the game. You know what I'm saying? It's the game
yeah.
for real, man. Man, what you
Speaking
think?
of Breed, real quick, remember the it was the song with Erick Sermon and Too Short had
Buy you
Breed on it.
some?
Yeah, I gotta look the video up. Breed wasn't in the video though, right? Yeah, I thought I seen him in the video, but they ain't have his verse on. I'm gonna have to look that up.
No, he
Once,
might have been. He might have been. I think he might.
yeah, I want y'all to look that up. It was a song with Too Short, Breed, and Erick Sermon. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
Erick Sermon more he talking more about his, in a lot of interviews I'm seeing him now. He's talking about more his time in Atlanta and stuff. So I think that's why I showed up like in my timeline. I'm like,
Mm.
damn, why they playing this video? But yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, all the people. Me and my homeboy, I said all the people that came around him to try to get signed and things like that. And man, it's so hard to kind of hear that like that. I wish I could
Right,
have, woulda, shoulda. It's like because we be so stuck in our own ways and our own time. We
right.
we he let a lot of people slip past his
Oh
hands.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I still want to see a Def Squad Hit Squad tour. That
Yeah, that'll
would
be
be
dope.
dope. Man,
Yep.
what you think about Daz and Snoop, man? That situation where the first thing Snoop said, Daz, you broke anyway. And that's his cousin. Like I said, God
Yeah.
damn. Hey,
That's just that family stuff, man. Like, from again, that's outside of for one, it's social media.
right.
These conversations probably would have been had prior to social media, and we
Mm,
just didn't catch wind of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm, mm.
you wasn't gonna get like um you wasn't gonna get the National Enquirer saying what Snoop and Dad's up to. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? It just you couldn't keep up with all the interactings of each crew and each family beef and all that. Now with social media, the people get to go straight there, and you feel some type of way one day, and next year y'all cool, and social media just going for the ride. So, but
Hey, make it cool to communicate and pick up the phone again. That's what it's
yeah.
about, man.
But I
Hey,
mean, once somebody attack you publicly, you feel
it's,
like you got to respond publicly. I seen Cocaine talking about it too a
mm,
little bit, and people was clowning. Not clowning them, but people was saying like, some people don't really know people's history. They
mm,
just know Das and Snoop. So
mm,
people was like, "Who are you?" You know what I'm saying? Type
right,
thing. So he made a comment on who he is, and he
right,
set the record straight. Like, I'm not, like, I was around before them, that type of thing. So
right,
yeah, man, you just gotta you sit back and watch, you let people air it out, because unless you in it, it don't really make me none. I mean, sometimes it's entertaining, but when they close like that, it ain't so entertaining.
Mm. Man, he showed the list of all the songs that he published and all the songs. It's like, hey, it looked like like 40% of Death Row is his on the way.
Who was that? Jazz?
Yeah, say he was pulling out papers. He was just, man, all the songs on the Chronic album. I said, man, hey, talk about biting your tongue till it fall off, man. Hey,
Hey,
that's what they want you to do.
hey, I'm gonna tell people. I tell people this in any business, even in my industry, right? Like, and we heard this like coming when we interview like Lamont or some of the people that are more behind the scenes talking about publishing, front end. We talked about rappers that got movies and only got paid 5,000 and that type of stuff. When you do any piece of work, you got to realize what you're doing it for. Either you got to know the value of it when you do it and when you sign it over. Like you got to know, am I doing this for name recognition to add it to my resume and some of the fame, or am I doing this for the money? Like there's a thin line between that. Now, you might get a small piece of money on the front end and more on the back end, or you might be seen it in a Diddy doc. You know, somebody got 5,000 or 20,000 to do an album or whatever the case may be, right? But make sure what your intentions is. You have a contract to say that, and you personally have an understanding with yourself. Can I live with this 10 years, 15 years down the line? Hip hop is a art form where, you know, they getting people at new edition age when they start. You getting these teenagers and young people that never seen 100. They household never made more than 50,000, and you give them a $1 million record deal, and they're like $1 million. They don't understand taxes. They don't understand recouping or none of that. And it's just like, I'm rich, but no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? So um, maybe you jump in a movie and only get paid 5,000, and then you get the Tupac Bishop effect where it makes you more of a star. So now that impacts your music where you're gonna go make some real money at, right?
Right.
Or you can now, because of the fame from that, you can go sell out concerts or people paying you to appearances and stuff. So, but you can't come back 20 years from now complaining that you only got 5,000 when that platform that really introduced you to a whole new world where you was able to go make more money at. But yeah, man, it's sad to see though. Some of these people got catalogs of work that they produce. They was ghostwriting, and the music's still there, but the money not. You know. But we also got to ask: did you get the money? Did you get what you signed up for, and you blew the money,
Right.
or you just signed a bad contract, or you got fucked over? You know, it's one of the three all the time.
Right. You know, like we was talking about the lack of lawyers and the lack of managers in our hip hop community, where, you know, like they come along and get our likeness without people asking for, you know, getting waivers and all this stuff, because there's no real structure there. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, because we lacking a middleman. You know, a lot
I
of
think, you know what? Looking back on it, I think we had. Now we not the entertainment capital, so we probably didn't have a lot of entertainment lawyers. But you got to think most of them guys went to law school with other attorneys that they knew, so it was a network there. I think a lot of times that dudes didn't seek out that type of advice early on, or they just was too cheap to pay them. You know, so like you look even the artists we interviewed when they was like, yeah, I got a record deal or such and such. I didn't even know half these guys was on the radar of a Death Row or Def Jam or Irv Gotti and all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I think there were people around, but I don't think a lot of people knew to seek them out neither. Like it's one thing not have those people in your face, or there's the office attorney's office right next to the Def Jam building and so on, that type of thing. But I think we could have got the information if we would have seeked it out.
Yeah, you gotta. If you're an entertainment lawyer, you can't get a family insurance lawyer. I mean, if you're
Right.
in the entertainment business, you got to get an entertainment lawyer.
Yep.
That's the main, and people that really, it's a lot of stuff we just don't see. We don't see that Hollywoodism, but you gotta dig it up and see and find it out. I mean, we know how it hurts and a couple guys at home, but how many other lawyers got platinum plaques in their office and they be visible in the community looking for talent and building
Yep.
showcases and things, but just you can't get no family lawyer for no entertainment lawyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The guy that did your criminal case shouldn't be representing
No.
you with a contract with Arista, right? But
Yeah.
at the same time, he might have a network of attorneys that
Tough.
can do it.
Yeah.
And you say, cool, he might get a referral fee for referring you over to that attorney, and you might have to be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like the bread got to be split, as somebody gonna pay for the service. You gotta pay for good service, right? But not to say that you need to get screwed over, neither. But you gotta understand, like people want to get paid for.
Right.
You get what you pay for at the end of the day. Then you got
Right.
to have an
Right.
attorney to watch that attorney.
What yes, when Biggie say the lawyers watching
Right.
lawyers.
Right.
More for real. Hey, you see what Erick Sermon said EPMD signed for $1,800
I can believe it.
back then.
You
Yeah.
you them numbers sound crazy now. I mean, that was chump change back then, but compared to $1,800 back in 1990 is probably the equivalent to maybe like 15 to 16,000 now, right? And that's chump change.
Yeah.
But I don't think what people like. So tell me this: EPMD got signed, their album dropped, right? How much you think it would have cost you to book EPMD for a show back then?
89, they probably was charging maybe $500-800 a piece or something, $1,000 a piece
So
or something.
probably like a $2,000 to book them
Mm-hmm.
for a small show, not like a big arena or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think them guys could have did a show every week or every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Back then, at that, after the first album, I'm not even talking about the second album, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, think about it. They could have easily made 100,000 that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Just on show money, not including merchandise or whatever else they can parlay that into.
The
Dropping
fame off of
verses
it.
for people.
Right.
Yeah. So you gotta your fame can always be monetized.
Right.
It's just that now it's just easier, and that's an actual word. And I'm not to say that they had to eat off of that, or that's not residual money. That's money you got to work for. So it ain't like once you done touring, you done. Ain't no money still coming in because you still need record sales and royalties and publishing. But I mean, what was the what was the other option to not sign?
Back then they was sampling everything anyway, so
Yeah,
it was all a risk. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
So it's like the record contracts are screwed for the label, but it's like you just, again, that's one of the things you got to know. Like what Babs say, my people was telling me I was basically she was saying my people was telling me I was getting screwed. You signing for the fame, not the money.
yeah.
And she was like, but it's Bad Boy. I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, Biggie was here.
Yeah. Yeah, what Craig Mack ex-wife say, Puffy pull out a knot and give Craig Mack $100.
That's foul.
Ooh, I said,
But But
hey,
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. What we know who Babs was if she wasn't signed, if she didn't sign the deal. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying? If Babs started Queen of the Ring without being Babs from making a band, what we had to tuned in to the, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So we
Mysterious
don't
was
know.
all on the show. You don't even hear about Mysterious no more.
Yeah, so it's like she could have parlayed that into something else and made something. I mean, sometimes the fame does work if you use it right,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, yeah, this is crazy here,
Yeah, yeah. Hey, rest in peace to IQ, man. One of D12's original members of,
man.
one of the guys who always was a fixture in the hip hop shop. He passed away in a Macon, Georgia prison or something, jail the other day. He had mental issues and stuff, but he was one of the best lyricists out of the hip hop shop. Him and Fuzz Scooter and all them guys, B
Yeah,
you know, one of the biggest inspirations. Rest in peace, IQ. Yeah.
yeah, man. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Yep, rest in peace, man.
Hey, tell me something. What you think about Mass Appeal Run, man? This year, what they've been doing. What was your favorite album out of that mix?
Man, that whole like the whole first of all, the whole concept and the idea, like the whole Legends series, right? That's just dope because we're at the time where a couple years ago everybody was like, nah, older dudes, this and that. Now we seeing like I ain't gotta be double platinum. You know what I'm saying? There's a space for Ghostface. There's a space for Daylight. There's a space for Nas and Premier,
Right.
right? With our generation. And if the younger generation pick it up, oh well, you know what I'm saying? We talked about the Slick Rick project. I don't
Right.
even know how many records it sold. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The videos was dope. The
Yeah.
the art was dope. That's all we asked for. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As a fan, and we buy it and support it. We stream it, we play it, we watch it, and we enjoy hip hop. And I
Right.
think they feel the void that was missing. And to be honest, I gotta give respect to the whole to Griselda because they kept ushering in that sound of that
Mhm.
90s flow that it's nostalgic, but it's not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right. Right.
it's like this music still sells, it's still popular with somebody, right? And then the 90s was such a time in hip hop where you had some of the best artists not selling a lot of records, but they had timeless music.
Mhm.
And I think Mass Appeal just captured that void and was
Yeah.
just like, hey, we just making good music.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we making good music. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It don't cost you $2 million to make a video no more.
Right.
So um I don't know I don't know how the publishing and royalties and all that is set up. It seemed like the artist is happy.
Yeah.
That was my concern too with some of these guys coming back to do projects, whether they do them independent or on a label, or if they even want to be on a label. But I think Mass Appeal is just that good medium where they get the exposure, they get to build off a brand,
Yeah.
and it's just good music, man. I like it. It don't sound outdated, but each artist is their style.
Yeah. You got brands like Mob Deep and De La Soul missing members, but they damage from missing members, but they still make it look good, knowing
Yeah,
those guys can't tour anymore like they used to, things
yeah.
like that. But you weren't
And
even thinking about the numbers.
to me, that's almost the disappointing part because it's like, damn, Mass Appeal is always on time with what they're doing. But can you imagine this 4 years ago when
Mm.
dudes were still alive, 4 or 5 years ago, like what the projects would have been? But
Mm.
I don't know if the audience was ready to receive that. Like
Mm.
our generation grew up with hip hop. We are anybody that's within a 5 year window of 50 years old, you're like the true hip hop
Yeah.
kids. You was old enough to listen to it when it was created, but young enough to grow with it. So like your favorite rapper at one point in time was Big Daddy Kane, but you could still listen to Little Baby and relate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that 90s era was a period of time when we were all maturing to actual adults. You know what I'm saying? So the music content changed, and then we're old enough to be distant away from some of the younger generation because it's music that our kids and even some of our grandkids listening to. We can understand it, but it just ain't our cup of tea.
Yeah.
So Mass Appeal just came in and they just hit us with the Rolling Stones. Like, these the legends right here. They still doing it. They still, and this is for y'all. And that's just it.
Yeah, I hope they I hope Jay-Z curate a Big Daddy Kane album or something right now. That'd be dope if
Yeah.
they do a
Like
clean and right, you know.
like Premier production on the Nas and Premier album, man, it sound like it was produced between it Illmatic and Halftime. Like it's
Mm,
like this it's really like the second album, right?
mm,
But it's like but the wordplay and the bars, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
damn, you know what I'm saying? This we right now with it. When
yeah,
he talking about crypto
yeah,
and you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
buying the video stock and all of that. Come on now, it's grown man talk.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's,
Diamonds Diamonds jumping like Bobby with the Gumby cut.
yeah, yeah. It was good to see. I just wish they did a better rollout. You know, that's all. I want to see Nas on Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like that. Maybe he about to do shit like that, but you know,
That costs money though, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But I don't think the goal is to have a lot of overhead with these artists, because then you get back into again, like, as a business owner, I gotta recoup my expenses. You know what I'm saying? The artists get mad, but yeah, who putting up the million? I
hmm,
want to get my million back with interest. If not, I can go and invest it in some real estate or stocks. I'm
yeah,
not going to invest it in an artist that 10 artists and only one of them recoup and the rest of them a tax write-off.
right,
So I get it. Nas has that star appeal, but at the same time, he can go on Joe Buttons and still get the same. He can come on Funky Fresh and get an audience. You know what I'm saying?
right, right, right.
So it's a lot of platforms you can go on and get just as much exposure than you could going on national TV.
We, you know, opposed to Clips, they had the fashion network to back
Yeah,
like the Carhartts and the Louis Vuittons and stuff. It just, you know, I could have see Guitar Center or something behind Premiere or Newmark Mixer and you know all this stuff to make it because that was so 30-year, 20 something years waiting for that moment. It's just, you know, I think just like now, you know, a lot of the stores around here on the West Coast, you can't really find a product like, you know,
yeah.
opposed to, you know, a lot of that other stuff. But that
But
was good to see, you know.
what the Clips did was unique, and they did like the Destiny's Child thing, right? Where if you listen to Matthew Knowles, he was like, yeah, the record label only had this amount in their budget, but they went to I think it was L'Oreal or Revlon or one of them cosmetic companies, right? And got a budget from them. That's why the music was in their commercials,
Right.
but that budget helped expose their brand to a lot more. So the Clips they didn't come in and it was like, oh, we got a hip hop album. Like you said, them dudes was walking the runway. They had Pharrell was already doing the stuff in the
Yeah.
fashion world, so they just piggyback off of that. But
Yeah.
that go back to you being a celebrity,
Yeah.
right? Having that exposure and building them connections. So now when people are talking about the Clips, they talking about the Clips, whether it's their album or not. It just so happened they got an album out. Oh, well, let me check that out.
Yeah.
You know, it's supposed it's music now is more about the artist personality and them as people, not so much as the music. That's why a lot of dudes' podcasts is blowing up, because
Mm.
you get to see these people. You like them more now than you did when you was listening to their music all the time.
Right.
So I think yeah, again, like with mass appeal, I think, they can, a lot of them guys can get out and promote. You start seeing them on podcasts and stuff like that, and they getting the views and the exposure. I think the right people are getting the music too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if you've seen the way ASAP Rocky is promoting his album
Yeah.
with the rent, paying people's rent with the little game shows and stuff like that. You go on his app,
Yeah.
and his album cover is right there. It's just the strategicness of it all. They all trying to hit on the fashion, the fashion.
Man,
You know what I'm
the best thing ASAP Rocky did for me
saying? Go ahead.
was and I like his music, but I was never like a follower, a big fan like that. I
Mhm.
just like, I would hear the music and be like, oh, he's good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the best thing he did was, I mean, you see him with Rihanna, and then he in Harlem with Murder Mook, Uncasa,
Yeah.
Dave East, and Mook, and Loaded Lux, and they like, we gonna grab the mic.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, that freestyle.
normally
Yeah.
somebody sitting up there with Rihanna ain't grabbing that mic in
Yeah.
there with the wolves.
Yeah.
He grabbed the mic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was calling the people that was in the back, like, oh, like, come up and get you some. Like, he wasn't letting nobody that was somebody in their area or in their
Mhm.
hood not get their shine. So
Right.
it's like, come up here, Uncasa, come up here, Mills, or whoever else was there, right?
Yeah.
Because the spotlight, his name is bigger, but everybody got the shine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man.
It and you could tell it got to the point where Dave East had to spit something,
Yeah. Of course.
So I mean, that's the stuff that make people legends beyond just they made good music. It's like
Yeah.
there's somebody that was there in there and they gonna talk about that for years.
Yeah.
I was
You you
there when,
you seen
you
her in the
know,
barber shop. There's 200 niggas in the barber shop, and she right there, right there with them. Hey,
yeah.
I said, wow. Hey, they all
Because
keeping their composure and everything. Yeah.
here's the thing. With that happening, that type of thing happening, you don't know who's in there that's not a rapper that's gonna be somebody later. When you heard Mike Epps talking and he was like, yeah, I used to be in New York all the time. I was at the club, I was standing right next to Jay-Z, and I used to just be around people. I wasn't famous like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But he went up and performed, and I was just sitting right there next to him. So, like, imagine the Kevin Hart of 10 years from now saying, yeah, I was right there when ASAP did that. Now, by this time, ASAP might not even be recording music, but
Right.
his fan base gonna be like, damn, who was he talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, Reg, you seen one dude you seen one dude Cam talked about, he was on the elevator and Trey Songz was
No,
on
I ain't see that.
he said, I'm on the elevator, I got my girl with me, and this Mr. Steal Girl. I'm like,
Oh,
that shit is hilarious. You gotta check the Mr. Commodore did a reenactment of it. It's hilarious, man.
I'm
Hey,
gonna check that out.
hey, Cameron said this. He said this nigga started singing to my girl on the elevator. You don't need to be with him. He said he started rapping about his Glock and putting holes. It was hilarious, man. Mr.
That's funny.
Commodore did the remake of it, the reenactment of it. It's hilarious, man.
I'm gonna go check it out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Mr. Commodore, hey, we got to get you on the show, man. You was hilarious. You and all these guys, these new comedians, and the reenactments and the internet and stuff, man. I say
I
that's
like when dudes reenact it, and I like when they make the little cartoons and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
It's hilarious. Hey,
Yeah, we're gonna have to put a link to it on our page so
yeah.
people can check it out.
Hey, man, what you think about Dame Studio getting garnished like that, man?
Yeah, and
For
his movie company
yeah,
when they
yeah, man,
auction it off.
for
Man,
100.
Dame is a lot of people I know, man, in business, man, and it's sad because yeah, man, it's sad because you build empires, but sometimes, man, you just gotta realize like the way you're doing it and how you handle relationships is not working.
Mm.
And sometimes, man, it's just money management, because
Oh,
you can't say he didn't make good money. You know what I'm saying? So to be honest, where he's at is his fault at this
mm,
point. Like,
mm,
I don't care who did you wrong and all of that. You still made a lot of money,
right.
and he's still rich. That's what I think a lot of people don't understand. He's just not rich. Like, what? So what? You took an LLC. Somebody have a. You can go start a company, and it might only be worth $500 because you didn't have any assets in it, and because it's registered under your name, and you file bankruptcy, they're gonna auction it off. Well, you
Right.
might only have one asset in there. So what? Somebody brought it for $100. So what? That type of thing. They had the attorney on there that was suing them. He the one that brought it at the auction
Right.
to be spiteful. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like,
Okay.
so what? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, um, and I've done it too. I blew a lot of money. I had been up and just made bad decisions. But at some point in time, I so it's different when you're in the entertainment world. Your money comes from you being visible, but personally, like if I knew him as a person individually, not a celebrity, I would be like, man, you don't have to be this. Just get your shit together and just do what you got to do to build because it's already in you. I think the problem is too, and he's a great example of when you get a certain age, in your 20s and 30s, you building because you got the energy to get up and grind. When you get up an age, you kind of don't want to start those things over. You don't want to start over from scratch again. But the thing is, it's easier to do because now you have the knowledge.
Mm.
But he's just uniquely him, man. And I hate to see it because it's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And he's a black man that built something, and we so hard on tearing them down.
Hey, man.
But it's like he keeps making himself the target by being so visible and saying I'm this, I'm that, or I did this, and it's like, no, we don't want to hear boss talk if you're going through this right now. Like, just be proud of who you are and go on and build out whatever you need to build out to keep you and your family happy. It's like you don't have to prove to us that you're a boss anymore. We already seen that, Dave. Like, go on and take care of your affairs and just stay out the limelight for a minute. But that's hard to do when you're a celebrity because you need the limelight to keep your name popping.
Right.
Poppington, rather.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, I seen Oskino talking about it. He said, man, I'd rather go with Dame than Jay-Z at that time because he said, I barely can get Jay-Z on the phone. And a lot of them guys was like, I barely can get Jay-Z on the phone. But at the same time, when you a socialite like that, when you such a giver, when you a sacrifice for the brand, and Jay-Z
Yeah.
is like cool club, I'm an MC and I barely want to shake the hands if these guys ain't worth 10, 20 million or give my phone number. You get a lot of that. So you got to protect your energy. that's what I've learned about the game. If you such a giver, protect your giving. It's like him trying to put Cameron in the mix, and it's a tug of war, and then y'all start fighting over girls and personal stuff. It
You
just it adds to the fire. You know what I'm saying?
you can't you gotta realize in business there's some of your relationships have to be business only. Like I
Yeah,
think Dame and Jay are polar opposites when it comes to business, right? Like you never heard Ty or Meek or Emery say the same things other people said about Jay, right? But again, when you hear their stories, they were really friends with Jay-Z. When Jay-Z got in the business, you don't see a lot of people saying, "Oh, me and Jay were friends," because he
yeah,
got in the business.
yeah,
He got it as an MC. I'm gonna do songs with people. I'm gonna be the baddest MC, and that's it. And we can do songs together. But Meek, and Emery, them my people. So
yeah,
there's a difference, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Jazz Oak
And
only can expect this much, and all he's like, oh,
yeah, and look at his relationship with Dame was more business. It's just we came up in this business together,
mm-hmm,
and as long as this business that we're working on is cool, but I get it. I wouldn't want to be partners with Dame long term,
mm-hmm,
based on based on some of the moves he make. If I had Jay-Z personality, you know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying? So like, um, yeah, man, it's just we put too much on people to be something they're not, and we don't know what their intentions was for getting into, like, for example, we put a lot of people say, well, Jay didn't do this or Jay didn't do that, but neither did Lear Cohen or Clive Davis. Clive Davis wasn't going to take responsibility for you when you know what I'm saying. If the judge,
yeah.
Clive Davis probably wouldn't even have been there.
But at the same time, you look at it, and you say, when they broke apart, he was doing Rihanna, he was doing Neo. It wasn't about the niggerism with hip hop anymore. You
That's
know,
what I'm saying,
I,
right?
I got it. Freeway was barely holding on. He got tired of going to the courtroom for Benny Siegel. Petey Crack, he gave him a spot on Neo's single, but they had to grow from that. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't just wait on that for knowing that his money was different, the talk was different, his
Yeah.
circle was different.
I
You know
would.
what I'm
So the
saying?
thing is, like, when you get around certain people, you just got to soak up game. It's,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like people. You hear how people complain about Kobe's work ethic, right? They get it now, but they was like he was an asshole. Yeah, but y'all was winning. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never, out of all the complaints I heard about Kobe, people would be like, yeah, he'd be up in the gym at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning, and he ain't come out and party with us, and we thought he was an asshole. But yeah, that's why he always named in the top three, right? But I never heard any of them say, yeah, I said I wanted to go to the gym with Kobe at 5 a.m. And he was like, no, I want to gym to myself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like nobody was saying, yeah, I got up to go practice with Kobe and work out with Kobe, and he told me no. No, everybody was just showing up to practice. So like my thing with Jay or even Diddy at a point was like, damn, I know I'm black, fellas, but can I just run a business? I
Mm-hmm.
don't I can't be everybody on the label's friend or homeboy. I'm trying to run a business. I
Mm-hmm.
signed you as an artist. I put up millions. Let's get this done. You know what I'm saying? Now we'll build a friendship as time go on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, to be honest, that's why a lot of them artists, they probably heard and seen stuff with Puffy, but a lot of them didn't know like a lot of that stuff that was going on, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
like the people that was around, like Clive Davis, they probably don't know what he do behind doors. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So With Jay it's just business, and you just got to know that up front. With Dame, if you watch Honor Up, that tell you a lot about Dame.
Mm.
Dame was just his whole mindset. I'm from the street. I'm gonna keep this code alive, even if it kill me or break me. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if the whole game snitching now and these dudes ain't holding their honor, I'm still gonna hold mine. But how can you do that for people that's not reciprocating it? And it keeps burning you over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, Michael Jordan was the same as Kobe. He didn't. Hey, he started seeing them guys sniffing dope and all that stuff, and then the scene,
yeah,
he like, man, my respect level is dropping. Fuck you,
exactly. And
man.
then if you notice who he got cool like with Pippen. Like you could see who he respected in the game, and you can see who he respected off the court based on who he was with off the court.
Yeah.
You can see who he respected in the game based on who he passed the ball to and who he allowed to shine as well, because he probably seen them work as much. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? They was hungry as well.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, it was people that had just as much, like they talk about Clyde Drexler all the time. It was people that was equal or some of them better than Jordan coming through college, and even some in the pros. They just didn't have a work ethic and they ain't had a hunger. So it's the same with music and everything else in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell Mr. Diplomat the same thing about he go out here and shake hands and eager to build a brand. You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of the day, you know, whether you feel the love or not or see it's worth something, just stick around because because
Yeah.
it's a cold game. This shit, you got to keep your pimp hat on. You can't be in a rush to put that move some dress on because hey, this shit is a cold world, cold ass game.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. So if I was a label and had somebody like Mr. Diplomat around, I would be like, look, man, take this artist and y'all go out. That's just the assignment. I need them to soak up what you got, but I need you to be their mouthpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about the people he's approached without having an artist by his side, without having, you know what I'm saying, just having merchandise, promo stuff, or just having a conversation or getting people on camera. Can you imagine a little shy artist that ain't really media trained, but they out and about and they not on no street stuff? They might, I don't know what their music like, but they just need to build themselves up and go out and network.
Mm-hmm.
And you just say, hey, Mr. Diplomat, take them out. Y'all about to, here's a budget. Y'all go travel, go be out in the field. You know what I'm saying? Like that person, like, damn, they playing my music over here. Damn, they shouted me out. You know what I'm saying? But people don't get that part of the game, man.
Rappers have made it to a point where it's cool not to promote their own stuff, and I just look at life, and you got the E40 side, and you got the artists just sell their soul side. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The E40 he was big on his brand and big on protecting his stuff, and you see he done put over the years of him doing distribution deals with Jive Records and them getting a 25% split or 30. You see the results of his label. He able to sit at the side of at the front line of the basketball games because he done branded himself from the jump. And it was so many people that they say, oh, I got an E40 or Too Short. They gave us, they didn't, New York and stuff, a lot of the markets didn't understand that independent game. So you had the people selling their souls and people that, all the stuff that's going on with, when you can move ahead of this game with that stuff, man, you'll still have your soul left because at the end of the day, it's so many bambatas in different forms
Man,
and that's shit. Now
that's sad.
I hate to say his name, but it's like that. It's like that shit is, man. I done been to the me and my wife went to the Zulu Nation things and just seen the darkness in some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, that's sad, man. Like I was you know, you mentioned Bambaataa, I was hearing Dogface. People was going crazy when
man.
he was like all them dudes, and he was like New York brought that energy to it. Y'all think it was Atlanta, and I'm like, you know, like a lot of people came up with that phrase "homo thug" back in the day, and it's like, damn. Now you look up and you like, damn, all that was going on back in the '80s and '90s. But you got to think too, when hip hop, especially like when we was younger, and you would hear like you would hear songs, urban music on the radio, right? Before stations was really playing hip hop a lot. They'd play one or two songs, Planet Rock or Friends or something like that. All the music and most of the clubs, like it was all intertwined. So that disco era, a lot of that was present. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it
For
don't
that
surprise
market,
me to.
for our market, we had Motown, we had Tina Marie, we had Rick James. They had, like Marley Marl said the other day, he was his first DJ spot was in a disco, was in a gay club.
Yeah.
But
So
we had a little balance. You know, Motown was a little cleaner with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you.
yeah. But that disco era, a lot of that was flamboyant and it was out there. So it don't surprise me looking back on it as an adult who probably was like that back then. You know what I'm saying? It's just that hip hop as a whole just wasn't open to that. So a lot of them dudes probably was just undercover and down low.
Mhm.
Like somebody tried to come out with a book like that, and they called it B-Boy something, and I was mad. Then I was like, "How y'all gonna tarnish the name B-Boy and not really knowing like where the word B-Boy came from? It was for the break dancers, right?
Right.
But it's like hip hop. You just realize it now. Like, damn, a lot of these dudes, like all the way up to Diddy, you be hearing these stories, like, man, but that's just the society we in. My thing is, damn, who did you sign to, or who was your influence? Who was you under? And then looking back, like I hate to say it, like I look at some of the mannerisms and what was it in Breaking
Super
when we
weird.
was watching Breaking, and some of them dudes, it was like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? Like I might have been 9 or 10, and like it was a couple characters you knew they was their character was like that, but then you look back at some of the other people and you like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh damn, like
Hey, the most
yeah,
gangster shit was the most gangsterous thing was Ice T in those movies. and,
man.
and and Turbo doing the broom thing, but I look at Electric Boogaloo and all that stuff, I'd be like, what? But
Yeah, so you know it was around then, so I just I mean it was just part of society, man. That's
yeah, boy,
it's
man,
just crazy.
the world is worldly, man. That's what. Hey, hey, you hear about MTV's being over with? You know,
They ain't music television no more. They've stopped being.
what reality TV, all that stuff is
Yeah.
the Instagram now. You know,
What's
YouTube.
funny is they had the first reality show with the Real World.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you know, they introduced it, you know, but then yeah, it just the times changed, man, because you can get music anywhere and the content is all over the place. So how do you really have a network for young people when Instagram and YouTube is giving them everything that they need? And it's direct to consumer because y'all didn't MTV doesn't have a Kai Cenat or you know
mm,
what I'm saying, or I Show Speed or academics or none of that on a regular where people really want to tune in like that. So it's probably they probably be better off just being a YouTube station, all content on YouTube. I
yeah,
mean, you know, I'm just mad they used to charge us for those extra channels, you know.
yeah.
So yeah, man.
Well, another episode. We got more to come. We thanks everybody for getting on the platform all 2025. We had some good people on the show last year. This year we got some more great things happening, man, for real.
And shout out to Dolce with the bars
Oh
on
yeah,
that. Yeah, she took. I was like, I ain't about to. It was like "Girl Get Up" or whatever the song name is, and I was like, I ain't. I was like, I guess I'll listen to it. Then I was like, damn.
yeah, she dope,
So,
man.
yeah.
I
And
like,
then who dropping the Rhapsody dropping a new project, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to Rhapsody, my man. Mr. Diplomat gonna go check her out. We're gonna show y'all some footage of that.
Okay.
Master Pill. I don't know if she's gonna be at one of those pop ups there.
Okay. Dope.
I don't know if they releasing it, but yeah, Master Pill got like a clearance sale going on January 3rd or something like that. Supposed to be the last date. You know, 2 more days from now, and we should have this out in a minute though. But yeah, January 3rd is the last day for the Master Pill pop up, and we're gonna give y'all some exclusive stuff.
That's what's up. Looking forward to 2026. Keep it
Mhm.
coming. Got more guests coming, more content. We gonna keep it rolling.
Yeah, and rest
So
in
we
peace to the boxers friends, man. That dude, the boxer that had the accident on.
Anthony Joshua
Yeah,
trainer and all of that.
yeah.
Yeah, that was sad.
Unfortunate. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's sad because it's in between fights because he got a fight coming up. Playing, he just beat the smack out of Jake Paul. They got the payday, the
yeah,
great payday, and
yeah.
yeah, to be over there, man. Like, yeah, you just that's crazy.
Hmm.
And it's all type of conspiracy because it's like right after the payday, then this happened. So yeah, it's just crazy, man. But
I mean, you make $90 million, man. I probably wouldn't even come out the house for half of the year, man. It's like this.
yeah, it's like
I ain't going nowhere. But not to take that, on a for lightly, but I will, things like that they was already saying this the car was sabotaged and this and that and all this weird shit that it's something, man. I would probably want to get on the plane for half a year.
yeah. Sometimes you sit back and chill. But I mean, you get your like it's. I was surprised how many people wasn't familiar with Anthony Joshua. Like usually a boxer of that caliber, but he hasn't fought in. I think this was only like his first or second fight in America. Like
Hmm.
he always fought outside of the country, so a lot of people just wasn't familiar with him. But yeah, man, it's just sad. But um, I mean, life goes on at the end of the day. But I don't know how he's gonna be for the next fight. I don't know if they're gonna cancel it, reschedule it, or what, because he got to find a new training camp pretty much,
Hmm.
and go from there. So that might impact him mentally and all of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, and one last thing. You seen the Eddie Murphy documentary?
Yeah,
And for years them guys was like, damn, you hanging out with Rick James, you ain't doing no dope with him, this and that. They
yeah.
trying to find his vices. All those years they wanted to find his weaknesses, and he sit there and said, his situation with the prostitute or whatever. They found something then, but
Right.
he said, I waited to my 30s, mid 30s or whatever to smoke weed, but
Yeah.
just hearing how he had it was like all eyes on him. Everybody wanted to see his vices. He see his association, and he was ahead of everybody with that. You know what I'm
But you
saying?
know what, man? I think that too come from him being humble and realizing like, and then I think his brother probably played a part in that too. Like his brother seemed like the type that of checking, like nigga, you ain't how you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah,
really like checking on what you doing type thing.
yeah, yeah.
Um, your upbringing, you know what I'm saying, the direction and structure you had in your household determines a lot about how you handle life,
Mm.
you know. But then, I mean, it take discipline, man, to stay away from that, you know.
Right.
So,
Right.
um, yeah, that amazed me too because it was like, because usually if a celebrity did do drugs on a regular, they couldn't come out and lie like that because people would be calling them out. And no, I never heard them stories about him because it's a lot of celebrities that do them, but nobody else talk. They just like, yeah, we all do it, so it ain't no big deal. But
Right.
for him to come out and say that and then give a backstory, kind of explaining why, it just make a lot of sense, man. You just got to be strong in that environment,
Mm-hmm. What they put the Michigan coach, he had that white girl was on a sandwich.
man.
It was like, man, it's crazy.
You see bizarre video he
Yeah, I'm
did.
about to say that.
Hey,
Hey,
go
but
on Bizarre page on
he's silly as
Instagram
hell.
and look up his Sharon Moore rap video he did.
Yeah, he's stupid as hell for that one.
Hilarious.
I said, was I got one with this one.
Yeah.
He had the
Yo, tell
beard
him
on the
Funky Fresh in the Flesh sent you.
yeah. Hey, he had the Fat Joe dye beard.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Uh,
It's super silly, man. But yeah, man. Thanks again for your time, y'all. And man, I appreciate all the support over the years. We're gonna keep it coming, man. We got some more stuff for the channels, some documentary stuff, some vintage footage. Y'all just stay tuned, subscribe. Got B-Boy Reg in the house, DJ Butter in the house. We out, y'all.
All right. Peace out. Happy New Year.